All right, brick wall. Where's the brick wall? I'm going to run through it. Chris Partridge got me fired up. This is an extra edition of the Locked On Ole Miss podcast.
You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay, welcome to this extra edition of the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. Chris Partridge spoke with the media. It was his one time to deal with the media this year, and he got his money's worth. I'm telling you, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. He talked about the aggressiveness of the team, and now he doesn't mean blitzing. He doesn't mean pressure packages. It's not about scheme. He's talking about the players playing with a certain level of aggression to where they hit you just a little bit harder than normal people do. They're really fired up and they don't shy away from contact, and they will actually go force the issue. That is what they're talking about with aggression. It was really good to hear Chris Partridge talk about that and what the defense could be. Now, players, he did not get into players. I'm telling you, these coaches, him and Charlie Weiss Jr., have done a phenomenal job of being able to say something without saying anything specific. Questions about Davidson Igbeneusen, he dodged. Anything about a specific player, he outright dodged. The only way you could get an answer from him of any length of time was about, honestly, about philosophy, about stuff like that. And it was pretty interesting to see. Before we get started and letting you listen to that, let me tell you about BetOnline. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all of your betting needs. Bet on your favorite sports and events at the number one source for odds, lines, and gains. Find reviews and news in every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports wagering information, from live in-game betting scores and podcasts. They have you covered. Head to BetOnline today or use the mobile device to learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts. Anyway, this is Chris Partridge talking about everything that can happen because this is his media appearance for the year. So enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean, he's been here since January, so if he hasn't grown, we got issues. Every kid is since January, we would hope would grow. He's in a great competition with 11 other corners in camp, and got to fight every day. But yeah, he's grown. He's grown since January. He's out there competing. It's good to see him do that, just like everybody else. Just as excited as I was last year. I just look to do my part and contribute any way I can. So I'm fired up. I think we got a great bunch. We got 52 guys in camp, and they're all competing. They're all hungry. We want to be violent. We want to be aggressive. We want to make plays. So I don't get any more excited for my role. I just do the role that is asked of me, and my role is to call the shots and call the defense, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, big time. Obviously, in the SEC, it all goes, starts up front. So if you can't win up front, you'd be in trouble. And the other thing is you got to play a lot of guys. I mean, we play hard, we move around. So these guys, you need to build depth, and we feel really good about it. Again, we got a bunch of guys in camp. We got 16 D linemen in camp, and they're all competing. So they all got to show themselves out, and we hope that we can play 10 or 11 of them in a game. So that's that's what we're looking for right now is who's going to step up and be guys that we can count on in the crunch time. I mean, like anyone else. I mean, I'm not ready to call who the best group on our defense is and who's not or anything. I mean, I challenge those guys every day. I mean, we want greatness. That's it. There's no mediocrity at any point in this program. That's not what we're about. So we challenge each group every single day. Those guys get challenged. They get coached hard. We recruit guys that can take coaching. If we feel like you can't take coaching, you're not going to fit here. So I like what I see. They're running around. Again, they're competing. Everybody's in the mix. So we'll play the best guys that we can. If it's multiple guys, if we got to rotate, we'll rotate. If guys stand out, then they get the majority of the stops. But the bottom line is we want to build depth in this defense, and we want to play a lot of guys. So we want a lot of roles for a lot of guys. I love AJ. AJ's awesome. He's gonna be a great pro one day. His next step is just to take the bull by the horns and take the reins and lead this thing. Go make plays. Go be aggressive. Go see things out there. Communication. It's all those things. We've taken AJ to a higher level of understanding, and he's the leader back there, and he does a hell of a job. So I'm expecting a big year from him. They won't play if they won't hit you. That's number one. So we want to be violent. We want to come out of the secondary. We want to knock the crap out of people. So that's the number one thing that we're looking for. Again, same thing, experience, depth, portal, freshmen. It's a whole collective group. We'll play a lot of guys if we can, or we'll play guys that earn it and do what we ask. But we ask a lot of those guys, and they come and they play. I'm excited about them, just like I am at every position group. Well, shoot, I would hope not, or we're not as good as at our jobs as we'd like to be. You got to take time. You got to take time and get to know guys, and not just take them because of what they're ranked or what you think about them. You got to get to know them. You got to coach them. Any guy I recruit, I like coaching. I like to see how he's going to respond to what I'm telling him. And it doesn't have to be X's and O's. I'm not talking. I guess the proper term is teaching. I like teaching while I'm recruiting, because seeing how they respond, right? Seeing how they respond to their peers, their coaches in their high school. Talking to everybody, talking to every single person that they've touched if they're a transfer, right? Talking to their parents, getting the feel to see how their parents raised them. It's the full gamut of stuff. And the beauty and what I love about Lane, and he really taught me this or even honed it in even more, is like, if this kid's a great player, but he's not going to be coachable and he can't learn what we want him to learn, or he doesn't fit into our program, we're not going to take him, right? I think people would be astonished at the kids that we've turned down here because they don't fit in our program. Right? So I think that's what we do the best, and that's why when guys get in here, they can mesh together, and they can fit together because they're all like-minded. So we work really hard at doing that. I think, like anything, experience is everything for somebody. So it's just every coach that I've touched, everybody that I've been a part of, all the way back to my college defensive coordinator, has a little influence on how you like to do things and call things and set things up. But when it comes to like blitzing, that it's irrelevant. Like if we win the first game by dropping 11, we're gonna drop 11. Right? If we're ahead, we're not gonna just take like senseless shots and do things just to do them. We're gonna prepare. We're gonna look at the opponent. We're gonna see what's best, and we just got to build a defense that's able to be adaptable to do what we need to do. So we're not gonna be one-dimensional, but we're also not gonna just do stuff because it's a mentality. Like, no, we're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna hit people, right? But that doesn't mean bringing pressure, right? That means understanding angles and doing the right thing. There might be times we bring a bunch of pressure. There might be times we don't bring any pressure, right? I think that's what a great defense is. They can do a variety of different things. Yeah, there is no success unless you're the best. So, we weren't the best. So, yeah, we play with a chip on our shoulder, right? And then even when you're the best, you got to keep going. That's the beauty about the game of football, man. It humbles you every single day. So every play, every rep, it humbles you, right? You can be great for 10 plays in a row and then give up a big play, give up a touchdown, right? Game in, game out, year in, year out. So you can't get caught up into, we improve. Like, yeah, okay, we improve, but okay, so what can we do to be better now? What can we improve the improvement on? Right? So I think it's easy for these guys to play with a chip on their shoulder. And again, it goes back to who we're recruiting, the type of player we're bringing in here. But I think, yeah, we do got a chip on our shoulder. That's how you have to live in this sport, right? You got to have a chip on your shoulder, or someone will humble you immediately. Yeah, clarity is power, man. I just think, like, you give these guys clarity and you show them the good and the bad. Just like, when you're being raised. Your parents are going to be honest with you. They're not going to hide things from you. I just think, you're as clear as possible with these guys, and they learn to trust you and they understand. Our job as coaches is to look at the ceiling of a football player and break them clear through what they even think they can reach. And not even just a football player, as a man. So I think we've established a program here that, constantly is talking about life in football and constantly telling them what's real is out there. Because, when we get these guys, I mean, they're young men, right? They're not grown men. They haven't seen it all. So you got to show your experiences and tell them exactly, what's going on, whether it's in the world or in football, and give them as much clarity as possible. And if they do that, at the moment, in that one conversation, if they don't like it, they might go home and get upset, but eventually they see it, right? Eventually they understand, well, no, coach, he ain't messing with me. He ain't lying to me. There's a plan. There's a reason for everything we're doing. So I think I preach that constantly to everyone around is, be clear, be concise, give them a plan, give them a personal plan, give them a defensive plan, give them a position plan, be all in on making them understand, what the mission is.